So hello everyone, till now we have studied HTML, CSS, HTML 3 parts and CSS 6 parts I guess. So what we are gonna do in this session now is that whatever the concepts we have studied till now, we are gonna combine all those concepts and we are gonna build a mini you can say project out of the whatever the things we have learned till now. Using those concepts we are gonna build a mini teeny tiny website. Basically we are gonna create a hamburger menu. I will show you the website in few minutes, but for now the idea is that whatever the concepts we have learned till now, using those concepts we have to build a basic website, a good looking website. The goal here is to create a good looking website by the end of this session. By the end of this session, create a good looking website using pure vanilla CSS and HTML. That's all. Right, this is our goal of this session, and you can consider this as a mini project in itself. You can like put it in your resume if you want that I have created this project, this mini project using pure CSS and HTML. So this is the goal, this is the end goal of this session. So before we talk about how we gonna build it, what is the thing we are gonna build it, they are some basic design principles that everyone, each of one should know, right? And if you want to go into the depths of front end, if you are interested in front end development, then there is a concept called as UI UX designing. So UI UX designing is totally different from our thing. Our goal is to create functional real-time websites along with the backend. But if you are solely interested in front end, then I urge you guys to go online and study about UI UX designing principles. They are certain principles, they are certain UI UX principles. And one more thing you need to understand here is that UI UX is a separate field in itself. They are people who are working on this field. They are solely separate developers for this UI UX thing. So if you are interested in just front end or understanding how to create fantastic or very beautiful good looking websites, then I recommend you study about UI UX designing. So in this session we are not gonna go into the depths of UI UX. What we are gonna do is that there are three fundamental blocks of designing, right? When it comes to web development, there are three fundamental blocks. The first block is typography, right? First block is typography. Second one is color, and the third one is icons. So in this session we are gonna focus on these three things: how typography, color, icons affect the overall feel of your website. Okay, now before we talk about designing, before we talk about what is color and what are the colors that we should use and how these colors affect our platform, before we talk about that, you need to keep one thing in mind, which is if you are going to build a real-time website. I'm not talking about project. Most of you guys consider project basically you do it in class, you present it in front of your teacher, and that's all, right? And believe me when I say that if you are doing this and at the same time you want to be a real developer, then believe me, you cannot do that. You cannot be a good developer if you are building this sort of pseudo projects. I call them as pseudo projects. So what most of the 80 to 90% of students will do is that teachers and colleges pressure them to create projects, and because there is an external pressure, they start to make they will copy code from online and they will make some projects to just show the presentation in front of their faculty. So I want you guys, whoever watching this, I want you, please do not do that. It's gonna hurt you. It's not gonna help you but hurt you. Okay, so if you don't want to be hurt, then believe me, I want you to build products not pseudo projects. Focus on these things. Building product. What I mean by product, I have this hypothesis. I know that this overall session, this part is going outside of our overall flow of the lecture, but I want to point it out here, which is there is a difference from my perspective, at least, that there is a difference between a project and a product. And whenever I'm building things, whenever I build, if you notice our platform imaginaryhub.in or imaginaryhubx.com, which is a newsletter platform, I don't think so we have hosted it till yet, but yeah, we are gonna host it in future. But yeah, so my goal here is let's say we are getting 1 million users. For 1 million users, this is a hypothetical case, this is totally imaginary case, but for 1 million users, the question is, the thing which you are building, can it sustain? Right? And that is the thing you should be always focused on, right? How you can provide extraordinary value to your customer, to your end users. And in projects, we don't focus on customers, we don't focus on the experience. We do projects just to show in your resume. Right? If you are doing it, then please do not do that. Build products. What I mean by product is that it should work real time, and if any person is accessing, then it should get good user experience. Okay, stop here. No more philosophy, but yeah, always focus on real time websites or real applications, right? And consider this in your back of your head, that if this website gets 1,000, 10,000 users, can it handle? And you should always make softwares which can handle worst cases, right? In DSA also I said the same thing, right? We talked about the same thing, that whenever we are building algorithms, we think of worst case. Similarly, whenever we are building real-time applications, we should think of worst case. Right? What if server crashes? What if a number of users comes at a place? Is this your website gonna handle it or not? Always think about that. Okay. So the first point is, while designing, think of real time. And second thing is, be very clear with what your idea is. Right? Be very clear with it. What are you creating? Are you creating a website for an anime platform? If you are creating a platform for an anime kind of product, then you should use some sort of colors. If you are creating a platform for education, then you should use some sort of typography, color, this. So based on your idea, designing should be. But what people will do is that they will think of design first. After that, they will think of, okay, for this design, which idea is good? This is totally wrong, right? Your idea, based on the idea, you should get design. After that, you should get implementation. Like this, the process should be in a clear, structured flow. Okay, so what we are gonna study in this session? First point is about coloring, right? What are colors? How we use colors? How colors impact the overall visual appearance of your website? The second point is typography. How typography affects affects the overall SEO of your website. Okay, and the third point is icons. So first of all, we are gonna talk about these three things. After talking about these three things, we will talk about the product or the website we are creating. Okay, let us begin with the first thing. So before starting with our color, you can see that we are having two websites, website 1, website 2. Now my question is, at a very first glance, which one you like the most? Most of you guys will say website 2. Why? Because this is very clear, simple, easy to understand. But when compared to website 2, website 1 is more cluttered, is more, there are more things in website 1. Because of this, it makes our eyes strain, first of all. And the second point is, you cannot understand by just seeing the image. You need to focus on this thing. But if you notice, the second image In the second image, it is telling human stories and ideas. So what this thing is telling is, first point, it is simple. Second point, it is propagating the idea. It is giving you a clear idea of what this is about. In website 1, the only problem is it is not that much simple when compared to website 2, right? It is not simple. And the next point is, okay, this is also giving the idea, okay, meet your next favorite book, okay, giving idea about the platform. But the only problem is it is more cluttered. So why I'm showing you this thing is that you should always, as a designer, if you are going into front-end development, then as a designer, you should keep this two things in your mind. The first point is simplicity. Can you simplify things? Can you break it down into smaller atoms? Because people understand simplicity. If you're not simple, if I'm telling you in complex language, using complex languages, words, then you may not understand it. You may not understand it, right? So my explanation should be very subtle. If I'm not using my explanations in a very simple way, then you will leave the video. So similarly, if you are building products, then first thing is keep things simple, keep design simple. And second point, while keeping the design simple, make sure that it should give the idea of your website. Okay, this website is a educational website, this website is a e-commerce website. But just looking at it, we should get the idea, right? And these are the two things you should always be focused on as a front-end designer. Okay, got it. Now let us begin with our first topic, which is color theory. So color theory, you need to understand that colors plays a huge role in attracting your users, right? In making a hook towards your users, right? So attention, one of the key impacts of color is attention. To grasp overall attention span of your audience, you should use the appropriate colors. But before using colors, you should be very clear with what your idea is. Let's say my idea is our educational platform, because we are teaching. So let's say our platform is an educational platform. Then I should choose colors which are very subtle and which impress our users, right? And let's say our idea is to create an entertainment website. Then I should use some sort of colors, right? For entertainment, I should use different colors. For education, I should use some different colors. I cannot use the same colors, so the same shiny, high intensity colors for educational platform, right? Are you getting me? So based on the ideas, you should choose your colors, right? We will talk about how colors affects a person's psychology and how a particular colors give feeling of a particular thing. Okay, so before that, there are some fundamental colors in nature. Here you can see that we have three fundamental colors in nature. First one is red, second one is yellow, third one is blue. These are the fundamental colors in nature, and by combining these fundamental colors, we got tertiary colors. You can call it also secondary colors. Okay, so here if you combine red and orange, then you will get red orange. If you combine red with violet, then you will get red violet. Okay, and by combining all this, we call them as color wheel. We call this system as color wheel system. So color wheel system will give you, okay, these are the three fundamental colors that we are having in nature, and by combining these colors in various intensity, we get multiple colors like this. Okay, so the work of color wheel is to demonstrate you how color mixes together and give you a new resultant color. Okay, got it. Now let us understand the psychology of each and every color. Each color represents something deep in, if I talk about psychological terms, it represents something, and when I talk about, for example, educational platform, if I talk about educational platform, you might have seen that in educational platform we mostly use Coursera, Udemy, Skillshare, imaginary-hub.in, our platform, right? So all these platforms use very subtle colors. You might ask why? Because subtle color gives you a stable look to your platform. If you are an educational platform, people are coming to your platform to read, to study, to learn something. And if you are giving very dashy disco look, then people will leave, right? So you might have seen that in educational platform we might have used blue, white and some gray, yellow color, right? Because these are positive colors. This tells you stability. You might have seen that here. I can show here. I'm showing that, okay, blue color represents stability, cleanliness, freedom, authority, right? So these are the colors which are used by various platforms. Now if you notice luxury platform, right, luxury platforms like Apple, LVMH, Louis Vuitton or Dior, these platforms uses a combination of black and white. You might ask why? Because black represents luxury and light represents innocent purity. That is why they use this sort of color combination, and they follow the unique monochronic theme throughout their platforms, right? So this is the idea, overall psychological impact of a color on your platform. So the thing you need to remember from this is, before creating a product, before creating website, you should be very clear with what your idea is, and for that idea which colors you should proceed. Okay, got it. Now the next point is, I want to show you some websites. This is a PayPal website, and in PayPal we do a lot of transactions. This is basically PhonePe, right? You can consider it as a PhonePe. Now you might have seen that the colors they are using is white, blue, different shades of blue, right? Again white, and some grayish color as image. Now why they are using it? Because blue represents stability and reliability, and without reliability you cannot do transactions, right? So this might be one of the reasons why they are using these colors. Now if you see Netflix uses very vibrant colors. Why? Because vibrant colors represents excitement. Here you can see that excitement and enjoyment, enthusiasm are represented by vibrant colors, and one of the vibrant colors is red, and here Netflix is using vibrant colors, vibrant color, and this is a dark color, represents mystery. So based on the idea, we choose coloring, we choose color for a particular platform. Now there are three variant or three different types of combination of colors. Okay, the first one is monochronic, second one is complementary, and the third one is triadic. Let us talk about each one of them in detail. The first one is monochromatic. Monochromatic is nothing but for a particular color. Let's say I am choosing blue. For blue, I might have different shades of blue based on the intensity, right? For example, if a particular blue color is having very high intensity, then we call it as a dark blue color. The shirt I am wearing is, I think, dark blue color. So if the intensity of a particular color is very high, we call it dark blue. If the intensity of a particular color is kind of low, then we call it light color, light blue, sky blue, whatever. Similarly, if you are building professional websites, then you should always think of monochromatic colors, because this gives you a mono theme, a subtle theme to your platform, right? And you can see that as you move upwards in this hierarchy, the intensity is increasing at each and every point, right? This is about monochromatic colors. Now the second type of color is complementary colors. Complementary colors are the colors which are very opposite to one another, right? When we wear shirt and pant, we use opposite colors. Let's say I'm wearing a dark shirt, then I will wear a light pant, because they are opposite and they will go well. Similarly, if you are creating entertainment websites, you might see here they are using, Netflix is using red and black. Again, red and black are kind of complementary colors to each other. Red has very high intensity, black has zero intensity. Got it? So complementary colors are opposite colors, and these are 180 degrees apart. Here this is a complementary color, this is a complementary color, this is a complementary color, right? So the colors which are opposite to one another in color wheel, that colors are known as complementary colors. And for entertainment, for attention grasping platforms, we use complementary system, complementary color system. Okay, now the third type is triadic colors. Triadic colors are nothing but, okay, this is a color. Now if you go to 45 degrees on the left side, on the right side, whatever the colors you are getting, those three colors we call them as triadic colors. Okay, here this is a red color. Now if you go to 45 degrees on left side, right side, then you will get these colors, right? So this, combining these three colors, we call them as triadic colors. Now where we use triadic colors is e-commerce website. The best example is e-commerce website. E-commerce website like Flipkart, Amazon, Zepto, Swiggy, Blinkit, all these platforms uses triadic colors. Okay, basically e-commerce shopping platforms. I hope you are you are clear with color system, color theory. Okay, now if you want to read more about color theory, I have provided you a link of Canva. In the description box, I have provided you a link of Canva. By just clicking it, you can read complete about designing, about color theory. Now the next topic, typography. Okay, so believe me when I say that, text plays a huge role in your platform. If your text is too basic, then your user will leave the platform. So you should use fonts. Typography is nothing but fonts which are very appealing, and I think, I cannot remember perfectly, but I think they are around 1200 plus fonts. Across internet, we have 1200 plus fonts. Okay, among them you should choose fonts which fits perfectly to your platform. And fonts represent meaning, feeling 10 on 10. How's that? See the text on the screen. You will see that, okay, this is one type of text. I am waiting for you. After this is second type, third type. Now tell me one thing, which one looks more dangerous? The third one. Why? Because it is having colors and it is looking dangerous. When compared to second one is somewhat dangerous, but it is not giving that much spooky vibes, right? And the first one, zero feelings. Okay, got it? So typography represents the overall feeling and appearance of your website. Now the question is, how we gonna use the concept of typography? How we gonna use the concept of typography? We have different families of typographies, and some of the famous families you need to remember is sans serif, serif, monospace, cursive, fantasy. And among sans serif we have different types. Among serif we have different types. Like this, we have different types, different variations of this font families. Now based on the type, based on your idea, you should choose platforms which fits for you, the best for you. For example, let's say I'm making a website for museum. I'm creating an educational platform. I'm creating a platform for Taylor Swift. Now, if I'm creating a platform for Taylor Swift, then it is given she's a musician, right? So I should use fantasy or cursive because it gives you creative look. So here I should use cursive or fantasy fonts because this gives creative vibe. Here I should give more educational vibes. So here I will use serif or sans serif. And for museum website, it is more ancient vibe, right? So I will use monospace. So based on the idea, again we are going to use fonts. Now how we gonna import fonts? We have some fonts in VS Code which we have seen in previous sessions of CSS. We have seen how we can use fonts. Got it? Now we want some among 1200 fonts, we want some different fonts which suits the best for our platform. How we gonna do that? We are gonna use an amazing platform called as Google Fonts, and using Google Fonts we can import any font we want. Now how it's gonna work, let me show you. So let us go to our Microsoft browser. I will type Google Fonts. We will get a website of Google Fonts. It's not you, it says okay. There's a glitch here. Yep, we got the website of Google Fonts. Now in this font you will see a number of fonts like Roboto, what's this, Flux, Convergence, Soria, like Open Sans, Nonsense, Tamil, Telugu, underlined, whatever, right? Now how we gonna use this? We have different types of fonts, and here also we have different fonts. Let's say that I'm using Calibri. We don't have, I think, Calibri, whatever. Okay, so we'll get all the fonts. Now if you want to search a particular font, you can search it here, and you can also find some trending most popular fonts right here by choosing the filter of Google Fonts. Okay, got it. Now let's say I want to use Roboto font in my platform, then I will click it and I will get the Roboto font like this. Okay, now if you scroll down you will see different variations of Roboto font, right? If you want to use thin variation, it will look like this. If you want to use some light variations, it will look like this. Now along with it you can write it also here. Let's say I'm writing my name is Jabir Hussain. I'm writing this. Now you will see that based on different variations, based on the thickness of the font, how this font is gonna look, right? Roboto font is gonna look in this different test. Okay, got it. Now how we gonna use it? So for using this, I will open a HTML compiler. Okay, this is a HTML compiler. Okay, we got the HTML compiler. I will remove all this, or let me keep it in the body. Remove this. Now what I'm gonna do is that I will click on get font. Now when I click on get font, you will see Roboto, share, remove all, download. We don't need to see all this. Just scroll down and see how to use. Here click on get embedded code and you will get this embedded code. So this is for web. Now if you want to use this, then for Android, then you need to download Google Fonts, all this. But for web, we are doing web development. There are two methodologies to import any font. The first methodology is through link. The second methodology is through import. We will see import later, but for now let us go with link. So to link a particular font in our what you can say file, we need to copy this thing. So we will copy this and I will paste it here. Okay, so in the head I will paste this thing here. So we have pasted our link. Now we will write, let's say, h1 tag, and I'm writing I am Jabir Hussain. Now when I run this, now this Roboto font will not get applied to my h1. Let us see. You can see that Roboto font is not getting applied. So how we can apply it? We can apply it using this style property. Okay, so here I will write for this h1 in the style tag. I will remove all this. Okay, let me keep it. For h1 I will write font. What is my font name? Roboto is my font name. I will copy this and I will give it here, Roboto. Now let me save this and run again. Now you will see that Roboto font will get applied. Okay, not getting applied. Why? Because I need to give font family Roboto. right? Roboto. Now save and run this again. You will get now the font is changing. Like this you can import your font, whatever the font you want, in your platform. Now let's say I want to change the thickness of a particular thing. Then what I will do is that I will give font weight, copy this and I will paste it here, and now run this. You will get that the overall intensity of your font is changing. Like this you can use Google Fonts in your platform. The next concept is icons. You might have seen different icons for different platforms. For example, let's say that we are taking Netflix example. You can see that this is an icon in itself. If you scroll up, this English language is an icon in itself. So all these external icons can be imported using icons concept, using Google icons and Font Awesome. Using these two platforms we can import different types of icons in our document. Okay, now let us see how we can import icons in our platform. So here first of all let us talk about Google Fonts. So here I will go and search. Okay, go on Google and search Google icons. Now you will get the website of Google icons. Click on it and you will get icons like this, different icons. Now let's say I want to show this heart in my platform. Then what I can do is that I will go here, I will copy this thing. So here I will copy this in my platform, and right, so alternative static icon. Okay, first of all I need to copy this in my header tag. So in the HTML document, whatever the style this icon is having, link tag, I will copy and paste it. Now after that I want to import that icon. So to add that icon in my HTML document, we will have this thing. For inserting icon, we will copy this and I will paste it in my body. Now let me run this. So when I run this, now we will get this icon, this heart icon in my platform, right? Let me zoom it. Yeah, I am Jabir Hussain and heart will get like this. This is how we use Google Fonts in our platform, right? Google Fonts and icons in our document. Now let us talk about Font Awesome. Font Awesome is also really good platform for importing or getting any icon. So click on this and you can search it here. Let's say I want to search for a particular item. For user I want this. So here I will click on it and I will get this platform. I will get this, copy this, and before that we need to add the JS file. So to add our JS, so in order to import Font Awesome icons into your platform, what you have to do is that search how to connect Font Awesome with our HTML document. Search how to connect Font Awesome with HTML. Now you will get a website of Stack Overflow here. Now you can see that there is a link. So I want you guys to copy this link here, copy this link and go to your page. This is our page, right? So in the head I will paste this link. Now after pasting this link, let's say that in my Font Awesome I want to use this YouTube symbol. I want this YouTube symbol in my platform. So I will copy this and I will go to my document. Within the body I will paste my link. Now let me run this. You can see that I got Google icon using Font Awesome. Like this we can import n number of fonts, n number of icons, typography, colors from Google Fonts, Google Icons and Font Awesome. Now whatever the things we have learned till now designing HTML, CSS, we are gonna build that, implement that, and this is the website that we are gonna build through this learning. Okay, so here we will have an image, and we are trying to build a hamburger menu, which is nothing but this is a menu, right? And when I click on that website, when I click on this, I want this to be like this, right? I should get my brand name, imaginary hub, after that gallery, shorts, exhibits, events, store, contact, feedback, and after that links. And when I hover over the links now, I want to show my icons in such a way that the overall size of my icons should increase. At the same time, I want, this kind of animation. Whenever I am hovering, I want box shadow animation. We have studied box shadow, right? So this is the thing we are trying to build in our mini project, right? We will have an image, and when I click on menu, I want this thing to appear, right? And when I click on it, the menu should go back, right? Based on pure CSS and HTML, let us build that. Now the thing is, I have provided you this HTML code. I have provided you this HTML code, and you can find it, this HTML starter pack, I call it as starter. You can find this starter file in GitHub. We have been following all the lectures through GitHub, right? So in the GitHub, you will find this HTML starter pack. Now let us understand how this HTML document is, right? So first of all, we have document, but before we start, I want you guys to download this file. I want you to do it with me, okay? So we have HTML boilerplate code, and inside head we have connected with Google Fonts. Now we have imported one family called as Poppins, right? And basically connected with Font Awesome. That's what we did. Now along with it, we have connected our file with style, with an external style sheet, which is CSS mini.css is my file name. Now after that, in the body, I have created a main box, right? In the main box, so first of all, let me show you. So without CSS, the website will look something like this. So here we'll be having some icons. Now this is the hamburger menu, right? Without CSS, this is the hamburger menu. When I click on this, the hamburger menu should show me the menu. When I click on cross, which is nothing but uncheck, when I click on tick, I should get my menu. When I untick, the menu should go back. I want this thing, okay? So that thing can be done through JavaScript, but we don't know JavaScript. So what we are gonna do is that we are gonna use the concept of checkbox. So using the concept of checkbox, we're gonna implement the same functionality, okay? Now when I click on that, now I should get imaginary hub icons, something like that, after my icons. Now when I click on cross, I want this to go back. Okay, I want this to go back. So what I did in HTML document is that I have created a main box. Inside that, I have created the input checkbox. Now after that, our first button is having white color. So let me remove this color, save and see the document. You will see the button now. In the resultant, we have this hamburger as white color. That is why I have initialized it with white color. Okay, so here let me give it back. So I will give white color. Now this is the first button, and you need to notice here that the type, the ID of this checkbox and for label for this checkbox are same. It means that if I click on this, let me remove this. Let me remove the white for now, so that I can see my icon. So for this, when I click on this icon now, you will see that the checkbox will get automatically clicked. So let me show you. So I'm not clicking on checkbox, I'm clicking on this hamburger menu. When I click on hamburger menu, the button is getting checked. When I again click on hamburger menu, the checkbox is getting unchecked. How? We already studied that we can connect a particular element using label. For value, right? For I have given checkbox ID is equals to checkbox. Now for this I have created two labels, right? For is equals to checkbox, for is equals to checkbox. Let me show you here. So for is equals to check, and for cross also I have given check. Where is my cross button? This is my cross button, right? For cross symbol and hamburger I have given the same for class, right? For attribute. And when I give for now, these two buttons, this button and this button, right? Where is the button one? Yeah, these two buttons will get automatically connected with my checkbox. I hope you are clear, right? So here when I click on X, the button will get automatically. When I click on this, the button will automatically get unchecked. Why I am using this? Because we don't have the functionality, we don't know how to move elements in a particular way. We know animations, but we can implement functionality of a particular element using JavaScript, but till now we don't know anything about JavaScript, right? So that is why I am using checkbox as a predicate whether my hamburger is open or not. If it is open, then it indicates that okay, my menu is now open. If it is not open, then it indicates okay, my menu is not open right now. Clear? Okay, now after that, let me make it white here again. I don't want to change things here, so I will write white. Yep. Now after that, I have created a menu. Inside that menu I have given all my options, right? Okay, gallery, short, cuts, exhibits, events, whatever. Now finally at the footer session I have given social media links. So this is the basic structure of my HTML document. I hope you have understood the overall structure of our HTML. Now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna apply styling for this. So in the styling, first of all, let me apply a universal styling for all the elements. Let me apply margin 0 and padding 0, and let's say I'm assigning a universal font to every element. So I will give font. Let's say we have imported Poppins, right? So here I will give Poppins. I hope the spelling is correct. Poppins. Yeah. Let me save it, and along with it let us also give sans serif, right? Sans serif. Okay, I have given sans serif. Now let us see our document. You can see that okay, let me zoom out. All the elements are having 0 margin, 0 padding, and all the elements are now having Poppins as my font family, right? Poppins and sans serif. Now what I'm gonna do is that now I will give for my main box. For my main box, I will give, let's say, background color. Background, I want to add image, right? I want to add my image, camera image, right? I want to add camera image in my background, right? Background image, I will give URL. Through URL, I will add it. We already know how to add. So here I will give backslash. And here we have different files, but there is a file called as photo. So I will give photo. Let me save it. Now go to the document again. You will see that I got the image, but it is not clear. I want to make it clear. So what I'm gonna do is that I will use the properties of my overall functionalities of image property. So here I will give height. Let's say height is 100 viewport. I want to show complete image, right? After background size, let's say cover. I want to cover the whole image with my entire page, for my entire page. So I will give background cover. Okay, now let us see the image. Now you will see that my image is now covered. Clear? Now let us talk about these buttons. What I'm gonna do is that for the button one, right, which is my button one, this is my button one. So for the button one, btn_1, I will give color. Let's say I want to give the color as white, and font size, let's say I want to give the font size as what we can do, 20 pixel. Okay, let me save and go to the document. Okay, I have given 20 pixel. I want to increase it. I don't want this to be very small. So here I will give 30 pixel would be good. 30 pixel. See the document. Yeah, 30 pixel is good. Now after that, Let me give font weight 700 would be good, I guess 700. And position, I am gonna give position as absolute with respect to parent element, which is my parent element main box. The element should move, so here I will give parent absolute, and I want to move the element toward left side. So let's say I'm giving left as 15 pixels, and along with it let me give line height. Let's say I want to increase the overall height of the element by 60 pixel. I want to increase the icon height. Okay, let me save and go to the document. You will see that I got the document right here, 16 pixel left side, and the size of the overall width of the document. You can see that line height is now got increased. So button 1 styling is fixed. Now for side menu, this is my side menu, right? So for side menu, let me make styling. For side menu, sidebar menu. Okay, let me make the position as fixed, because all the elements in my style menu, in my side menu, are fixed. So I will give position fixed. After that, let me give initially all the elements are hiding, right? It means that they are off the screen. I don't want initially the elements to appear on the screen. So this is the 0th, right? So let's say this is my ending of the screen. So I'm pushing them backwards of the screen. So here I will give left and minus 300 pixel. So I'm pushing them towards the back of my screen. So minus 300 pixel I'm giving it. Now let me see the document. You can see that all the elements in the menu are going towards left. They will go towards left side by minus 300 pixel. If I give plus 300 pixel, the element will go towards in this direction. Clear, we are clear. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is that height, let me give height, and I want to display the elements in 100% height. Whatever the height of my document, I want to represent them, show them 100%. So here I will give height 100 viewport or 100 view height. Whatever the view height of my web page is going to be, I want to show it completely. Okay, now width, let's say width of my sidebar menu is, I can give 200, or let's say give 300 pixel, and background color. The background color is you can observe that the background color of each and every element, it is grayish color, right? And I have the RGB color, RGB of 255. Let's say 255 and 255 white. And let's say to create a grayish color, we can decrease the intensity using RGBA, which is alpha channel. We have studied what is alpha channel, I think in the 4th lecture or 3rd lecture, I cannot recall, but we studied about opacity and alpha channel. These are used to decrease the intensity of a particular element or div block. Okay, so here I will give RGBA, and let's say I am giving intensity as 0.1. Now what I'm gonna do is that I am gonna implement the box shadow. So I will give box shadow, let's say box shadow is 0 and 6 pixel. Overall blurriness is 6 pixel. RGBA, and again 255, and let's say opacity as 1. Okay, now transaction. So how transaction is going to work? When I click on that menu, I want all the elements to come in a linear fashion, and it should take 1 second time or half a second time. So here I will give for all elements 0.5 or 0.6 whatever, and give linear, because I want element to come like this. So I will give linear. Okay, so sidebar is now completed. Now there are some logos in my sidebar menu, right? There are some logos in my sidebar menu. So for logos, what I'm gonna do is that I will give dot sidebar menu dot logo. So for all these logos, what I'm gonna do is that let's say position let me make it absolute. With respect to parent element, my element should move. Okay, now width as, I want 100% width because I want to show all the icons, right? So width 100%, and line height, let me increase the height, overall height as 60 pixel, because this is icon, this is very similar to my hamburger. Okay, now box shadow, for this also box shadow as 004 pixel, and RGBA the same, right? 255, 250, you can give anything you want, 255 comma 0.5. okay, I'm giving this for icons in my sidebar menu. Okay, now for anchor tag, so for sidebar menu, and they are anchor tags, right? So this all things, you know, these things are anchor tags, and we already know that by default all the anchor tags will have a underline and its default text color is blue. Now I'm gonna change it. So for this, you know, menus anchor tags, I'm gonna change, let's say sidebar menu dot logo, and within the logo anchor tags are there, right? Within the logos anchor tags are there. So for this anchor tags, I'm gonna change the overall visual appearance. So for this also I will give the same positioning absolute, and width as like left 40 pixel or 50 pixel, right? The same styling, 50 pixel, and color should be white. I want the anchor tags as white, and line decoration, no line decoration, right? So I don't want any underline. So here I will give line decoration, text decoration as none. Now after giving none, what I'm gonna do is that here I want to increase the overall font size, because I know anchor tag are very small. So let me increase font size as 20 pixel and 20 pixel. Now after this, let me also increase the font weight. We will see output how it's gonna work. 5 pixel. Okay, got it. Now for button 2, right? For sidebars button 2, I will give side menu dot button 2. Now for button 2, what I'm gonna do is that for now we cannot see any changes, right? So let me comment this thing out. I will comment this thing out, and you can see that I got the styling like this, right? Okay, my menu, button, shadow box, all the things. For my button 2, I will give color as gray, and font, let me give the same styling which I have given for button 1 to button 2 as well. So 25 pixel, and what height I have given, 25-30 pixel font weight. So here I will give font weight or line height as 60 pixel, and position, this should be also absolute, so absolute, and let me move it towards left, because this is the hamburger menu. When I click on that, now the menu should come and this X icon should come somewhere here. So here I will give left, let me give 275, right? 275 pixel. Now after that, what I'm gonna do is that I will give opacity as 0%, because initially all the elements, when the button is not clicked, I want the opacity, the overall appearance of the button as 0. I don't want to show that button. I am having my button. Now when I give opacity as 0, you will get that the button is now disappeared here. Now when I hover over the button, I want this to be a pointer. So here I want this to be a pointer. So let me comment this. Now when I hover over button, I want to show a pointer here. Sidebar menu elements. So sidebar menu dot menu elements. What I'm gonna do is that I will give color white, right? Color white, and position absolute. Now after that, I will give width as 100%. So and top, so let me give top by, from the top I want to push the elements by 80 pixels, so I will give 80 pixels. Got it. For sidebar line elements, for sidebar line elements, right, element, least elements, so menu and li. For this least elements, you can see that first of all I am having button 2 and the next block is menu. Inside the menu I am having least element, and inside that I am having icons and anchor tags. So I am applying style to each and everything. I have applied styling to menu, now I am applying styling to li tag, after that I will apply to anchor tag. Okay, got it. So here I will give sidebar menu, inside the sidebar menu I am having menu, and inside that I am having least elements. So for least elements I will give margin. I want to move them towards like what, from top I want to move them 6 pixel, and with respect to parent, what is my parent, sidebar menu, so I will give padding 14 pixel and 20 pixel. Got it. Now for my anchor elements, right, sidebar menu dot menu, here I need to give menu, that is why the styling not got applied here. Okay, we got the element something like that. Okay, now for my menu anchor tags, right, for my menu anchor tags I and a, what I'm gonna do is that I will give color. Okay, now what is the color? Color is bluish color. I don't want this bluish color, so what I'm gonna do is that I will change this color white. Now after this text decoration none, and font size as 20 pixel. Okay, I have given font size as 20 pixel. Okay, I need to give I comma a, so I will give I comma a. Now you will see that the results got applied, right, gallery and shorts, exhibits, events, like this. Now for my items, what I'm gonna do is that for my social media, right, for my sidebar menu dot menu, what I'm gonna do is that I will give padding right, let me push it towards right side, so right 4 pixel. So for each and every element in the menu, the padding should be 4 pixel from the right side. Okay, got it. Now for my social media icons, right, I'm gonna give sidebar menu, and for social media I will give dot social underscore media. For this I'm gonna give color as white, and opacity, initial opacity would be 0.5, because when I hover over the element I want to highlight the element, I want to increase the opacity of a particular element, that is why I'm making it as 0.5. Now what I'm gonna do is that I will put it as position absolute, and I will move them towards left 25%. Let me give here, yep. Okay, after that bottom, this element should be bottom, right, bottom 20 pixel. So let me save this and see the elements. You can see that my elements are somewhere like this. Now what I'm gonna do is that I will increase the overall padding between the elements. So here I will give dot sidebar menu dot social media, and for the icons, what I'm gonna do is that I will write color white and opacity as 0.5. Now after that I will give padding, let's say I'm giving 0,5 pixel, 0 pixel from top and bottom, from left and right 5 pixel, so 5 pixel. So let me save and see the thing. You can see that the elements are now away from one another. Okay, got it. Now here what I'm gonna do is that for check, initially I don't want to show my check, so for check I will give display none. So when I give display none, the checkbox will get disappeared from my screen. So here you can see that the checkbox is no longer appearing in my screen because I have given display none. Now after that I will give sidebar menu dot menu li. For least elements, when I hover over least elements, I want to showcase a box shadow effect. Whenever I hover over Hamburger menu elements, I want to showcase some sort of box shadow. So what I'm gonna do is that I will use hover method. So I will give hover and I will write box shadow, and let's say 0 pixel, and 4 pixel RGBA and whitish color. So 255, and the opacity of that should be 0.5, some translucent. So let me see this. So when I hover over, you can see that I got the box shadow effect. Now after that, what I'm gonna do is that I will write for my button one icon. When I hover over button, I want that button size to increase. So I will give font size as 40 pixel. So I will give, so when I hover over the button font size will increase now. Similarly for the button 2 also I can give, for button 2 I element, when I hover over it, I want to increase the font size by 30 pixel. Okay, got it. Now when I hover over social medias, I want some blurry effect. So I will write side menu dot social media. For whatever the icons I'm having, when I hover over them, I want the opacity to be 1. Initially the opacity is 0.5. Now I will give, initially you can see that the opacity, where is the opacity? For social media the opacity is 0.5. Now I'm giving 1. After that I will give, I want to transform, I want to increase the size. So how we can increase? We already know transform property. So here I will give scale 1.2, right, or 1.3, 1.2, whatever. Now let me see this. So when I hover over, you can see that the overall element size is now increasing. Now when I click on check, and if it is checked, now then I want my sidebar menu to go back, to come by left 0. Okay, so here I will use side menu. If this is checked, then I will make them as 0 pixel, right? I will make them at 0. Okay, now if it is not checked, right, if that particular checkbox is checked and the sidebar is already present, right, then button 2, then for the particular icon, button 2 icon, I will give opacity as 1. Now this is my overall styling. So in the styling, what I did is that, first of all, I have given experimented different things for all the classes, right? And according to my vision, I did my styling similar to what I wanted. Okay, now finally here what I did is that whenever I hover, using the hover properties, I have displayed elements. Now when the element initially, here you can see that I have pushed the elements towards the left side by 300 pixels. I have pushed the elements. Okay, now when the checkbox is checked, the elements should come at left is equals to 0. So all the elements will get displayed. Okay, and the cross button opacity will become 1. Here I think here somewhere I have given opacity as 0 for my button 2, right? I cannot see the button 2 here, but here you can see that for button 2 I have given opacity as 0, but when the checkbox is checked, I am giving the opacity as 1. Like this I am applying my overall styling. So let me see the document here. So this is my document which I have created, and when I click on the button, when I hover over, the overall intensity or size of the button is increasing. Why? Because here you can see that when I hover over the button, where is the button? When I hover over the button, this is the button one. Where is button one? Yeah, this is button one, right? So when I hover over the button, I am increasing the button size by 40 pixel. That is why when I hover over it, the button, the hamburger menu is increasing, right? So let me click on it. So when I click on hamburger menu, I am getting my icons, and using box shadow I am displaying this elements, and similarly icons like that. And similarly when I hover over it, the elements will go back by 300 pixel left side, and when I click on it, the elements will come from -300 to 0. Like this we did complete sample mini project. I hope you have understood here till now. So with that being said, I hope you have understood the overall concepts of HTML, CSS, or this mini project. Now if you got any doubt, if you are having any ambiguity, then first of all I will provide you the link, the whole GitHub link, the complete CSS and HTML of this document to you guys, and along with some reading materials. Again, if you have any doubts, then please feel free to hit me on DMs. Right, I will contact with you guys. So with that being said, I will see you in the next one.